Here are some examples of tin can drawings going from developing up to actually an excellent plus. We're going to look at some of the common mistakes, and later on we'll do a series of videos showing how they may be improved. So this first example is a developing. If you look, he starts off working very accurately, but there's two mistakes. One with the drawing, these curves, as you can see, start to flatten. So if we do a little quick check, you can see this curve pretty accurate as it goes down, but then once it gets down to the bottom, this is accurate, but look how far out he is on this curve there. It should be much lower, so he's flattening, which is a common mistake. So one, the basic outline of the drawing and the ellipses lacks accuracy, particularly down to the bottom section here. And two, when he comes to shade, you can see he's just shading all in this direction. It's very obvious, instead of carefully doing each section at a time, going in this direction. If we look at another example, moving up into more of a secure. So again, there's more accuracy in the drawing of the ellipses. The curves are pretty accurate. They're a little bit wobbly in places, but they're pretty good. This could be a bit blended more. There could be a bit more detail for the light and dark shadows, but generally it's a good, solid, secure mark. So here we have going into the excellent range. So you can see slightly different drawing style, a little bit more dynamic and exciting, but much better at picking out the light areas and the dark areas. The curves again are pretty accurate in how they curve. There's a little bit of inconsistency. Some look slightly wider than others, and we'll know that they're exactly the same, but it's a pretty good effort, and there's a good understanding of how to add tone and shading and detail to the work. So that's good enough to get up into the excellences. We've got full mark 10 out of 10 example here. So you can see goes to the next stage, accurate ellipses, much greater range of tone, individual detail in each section of each of these indentations, plus the inside of the can, and these curves are done very accurately. So again, if we check the curves of the can, they're accurate going all the way down, etc., to the bottom. And then if we do the ones on the inside, so this one would follow onto there. So again, that's kind of accurately done, etc. Little bit out, about a millimeter out there. It's a good effort, good enough to get a 10 in year 7. And finally, if we look at an 11 out of 10 example, so again, very precise, much greater range of tone and detail compared to this one. Much more striking in the range of tone, and even not only has he done these smaller indentations, but actually he's done them very well. The only little mistake I could suggest with this, if you look at this gap and this gap and this gap, it does get a bit smaller there. I think he's flattened these slightly. Just could be a little bit more curving upwards there. As you can see there, that's pretty accurate all the way, but that looks a bit smaller on this side compared to that side. But that's a minor point really for a year 7 drawing. There's an excellent underlying drawing, understanding of how to draw ellipses, and then finally add in tone and shade into the work. So now we've seen examples going from a developing up to an excellent plus and above, an 11 out of 10.